Okay, so this is my level. What I wanted to create was a kind of shantytown area, which is locked off from the rest of the world. This you'll find out why this is later on from exploring this little section of the game. So here we are. There's some shanty towns here. In these like shanty houses, you will find clues and evidence of what's happening, and then slowly you'll find a way out of the area into the rest of the world. As there's no one living here, it's abandoned, and So then, in each shanty house, you'll find a different clue or things to throw you off the scent, and well, here's some other of my assets. Here's a kind of a lamppost which kind of flicker, which just add atmosphere to the kind of whole area. And this is like a little water fountain. I've kind of wanted to make a mix between like modern and ancient, like sci-fi and like historic kind of thing, which a lot of kind of things I've tried to do. I feel like that kind of works well because it adds like tradition to modernism, and I think it will work well in this game because the kind of enemy is like demonic, and it's like God versus the devil, evil versus bad, and good versus bad, and stuff like that. So here I'd like to add. So when you come in, you'll click an action button and water will appear. But as you progress further and find more clues, the water will turn into blood to show that you're kind of getting closer to your objective of getting out. There's also a church in here, which I put in. It's a rough church. Basically what I wanted, in here it's going to be like a massive kind of, like something like a fight's gone off, like a war between good and bad in here. And basically in here there's like, you'll find more clues of how to progress to the next section of the level, and so you kind of get an understanding of what's happening. So here we are. Then we've also got this monk guy. It's a UDK asset. I'm probably going to change it into something my own, or I might keep it because I think it works quite well in my game because it's quite historic and like a messenger kind of. And I've got these leaves kind of blowing around it. As you can see, there's no trees, but that kind of adds the atmosphere of like supernatural, and it's kind of like this area might protect you from the rest because it's taken over from the bad devil. And here's a gate. You can't press E or anything to open it. So basically, what the player has to do is find a way to open this gate to progress, and there'll be more puzzles throughout the game more difficult and puzzles to help make you progress, and I think that'll keep the game interesting as there's no enemies or there's nothing like full-blown action in it. It's just more mystery and problem solving and stuff like that. So over here I've kind of implemented a puzzle to open that gate. As you can see, when you press E, it'll turn and it'll say in place, and then when you get all three of them in place, it will say gate open, and then when you come to this gate you'll find that it's open, which is pretty cool. Then you obviously get to the kind of hotel area. I'm not sure, it probably won't be a hotel, it'll be something else, but this is like kind of the headquarters of the bad, where it's basically sourced from the evil. Yeah, here's another puzzle which I've implemented. You have to find this pickup and place it onto here to open that door, otherwise you can't get through. And I'll need to add sound to that. Then you come to upstairs, where there'll be kind of more clues that there's been a big fight going on. They want to add a cinematic into the game, which will kind of throw you down here, which, you aren't meant to do it, it's forced you into that action. So there's this is where I think this is where it'll be most, you know, the horror, and it'll be like pitch black and flickering lights going off to scare the user, because the rest of it's more mystery and problem solving and puzzles. This is going to be more horror and, you know, frighten the player, as there's like no light and just sounds and, you know, things moving around. And in my next build, I'd obviously like to add textures to all my assets. I've got them in 3ds Max, but I've kind of had a problem with importing it into UDK, so I thought I might as well just get the gameplay sorted and what I wanted to do with that, and get that down before I, you know, create some loads of assets which I don't know what I'm going to do with them. So in the next build I'd like to do that, and I'd like to add like a kind of graveyard area to the end of this house, which, you know, will add more horror and it'll just add to the game. And that's it really. So I hope you enjoy, and thanks for listening. So this is the hotel asset that I've created in 3ds Max, fully textured. This shows you what kind of atmosphere I'm looking for. It's going to be kind of like dark textured wooden, like old fashioned. This just will give you a better idea of what I want it to look like in game.